it's a Ramadan season, and one commodity that Muslims break their fast with this period is pap, popularly known as ogi or Akamu in local parlance. Well, let's look at the price movement of this commodity with Adedayo Oguniro, one of the research analysts with Financial Derivatives Company. Hello, Adedayo. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Good afternoon, Chimeze. Thank you for having me.
Well, although widely consumed, the price of pap, we've seen it flat at about 50 naira per sachet for an extended period. Why has the price been unchanged at the time that food inflation has increased sharply in 2018 and 2019?
Yes, the price of ogi has been constant at 50 naira per sachet or 50 naira per wrap over the last 2 years, while food inflation, on the other hand, is stubbornly high. It's currently above 13%. But there are two things we need to note importantly here. The first is that a constant market price does not necessarily mean a constant effective price. I'm going to break it down so that our audience will understand. Now, in what we've seen in the pap market is that while the price has been constant, the quantity you get at that particular price, 15 naira, has actually varied. So let's take, for example, if the price of maize increases, instead of raising the price of ogi, what the seller does, what most sellers do, is to cut the quantity in order to cover for the shortfall. So effectively, you are getting the same, with the same price, with the same amount, you are getting less quantity. So effectively, the price has increased. So the second thing to note is that the price of ogi is an insignificant contributor to food inflation. So there are so many items in the food basket, and what ogi accounts for is insignificant. Therefore, it is not aberrational to see mixed trends in the movement of food inflation and the price of ogi itself.
All right. Pap can be consumed on its own with sugar or milk, but is usually jointly demanded with other bean products like bean cake. Now, what likely impact will an increase in the demand for pap have on the complementary and joint products?
Firstly, what determines the demand for pap? First, like I mentioned earlier, the price of inputs like maize and sorghum. Second, the population. Third, the seasonality factor. When you, like you rightly said when you were introducing the program, it is widely consumed by Muslims in the evening when they are breaking their fast. So in the expectation is that the demand is going to remain high because of the growing population in the country. We would see Ramadan in subsequent years. The commodity would remain relevant. It is strongly recommended for pregnant women, for lactation purposes. It is used to feed infants. It is consumed across all population categories. So it is expected that if the demand increases as expected, the demand for other jointly and complementarily demanded commodities like sugar, like milk, akara, etc., would increase as well.
And do you think pap can ever be done in such a way that it can be globally competitive?
That's an interesting question. Yes, it can, but there are certain things that need to be done. First, there's need to commercialize the production. Right now, you find out that it is mostly produced on a small scale. So that is first, and of course, when it is commercialized, it comes with standardization and quality control. Second, we need to address the storage issue. Ogi is highly perishable. So now some consumers keep it in their refrigerators, but recently in the country, we've been having serious power challenges. Some parts of the country have been having power outages in recent weeks. So the power challenge needs to be fixed in order to to reduce the losses when you buy this commodity and keep at home. Then in the space, we've also seen some development, like some producers making it in powdered form. I think that is welcome, and we also need more investment in that space.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Adedayo.